Sanctuary cities and illegal immigration is heating up as the governor of Texas finds himself in a showdown with the county sheriff, who seems determined to provide special protections to the illegal immigrants living in Dallas. And this sanctuary city issue has been a hot button on the campaign trail.
We have to get rid of these sanctuary cities. It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful.
We need to eliminate sanctuary cities. This is a really incredibly stupid idea.
San Francisco has been a sanctuary city since 1989. We now have 300 of them. We have been talking about an insecure border for 25 years. We have never secured the border. We must. It's not rocket science.
I think a number of us are extremely concerned about this whole sanctuary city mess.
It's an outrageous situation where you have these localities that basically decide that because they've got a political agenda or a view of immigration law, they can somehow ignore the enforcement of these laws.
Republican Governor Greg Abbott is with us. He is the governor of Texas. Great to see you, Governor. So you've got those GOP candidates for president on your side, but you don't have your Dallas County sheriff on your side. And therein lies the problem for people like you and other states who are dealing with this problem. What are you going to do about folks like the Dallas County Sheriff Lupe Valdez, who says, too bad?
We are tired of these sanctuary city policies, and they will not be tolerated in Texas. So as governor, I sent a letter to the Dallas County Sheriff making clear what Texas is going to do. Because of policies like hers, Texas is going to pass a law that outlaws sanctuary cities, that will put injunctions on sheriffs who fail to comply with ICE detainer provisions. But also, we're going to put the heavy hand of economic damages on these counties that fail to comply, because we are going to ensure that local taxpayers have to pick up the tab instead of the state of Texas for non-compliance with immigration laws. But also, we are going to force upon them the waiver of damage limitations, exposing these counties to potential unlimited damages.
Because you are super smart and used to be the top law enforcement officer in your state, so take it to where we can understand it. How are you going to make the citizens of Dallas pay the price for a sanctuary city policy?
The reason, or the way that we do that, is the state of Texas is now coming out of pocket for education costs, health care costs, law enforcement costs related to sanctuary city policies that may be attracting people who are illegal to those particular counties. We're saying the taxpayers of Texas should not have to foot that bill. If a local law enforcement officer who is elected by local citizens decide to make that case, then the local citizens can kick that sheriff out of office.
Now, what do the argument by those who support sanctuary cities, and I know you mentioned Kate Steinle in your letter, that was San Francisco. The argument is we need to make the illegal immigrant community feel that they can come talk to law enforcement, to report about other crimes, to report about domestic abuse, to report about bad situations. And if they feel that they're going to go to the cops and say, I saw something terrible, and they're going to get cuffs slapped on them, they're not going to do it.
Well, first, this deals with people who are in jail, not people who are out on the street. And what we're seeking to do is to require the sheriff to comply with the Immigration Customs Enforcement demand that they be held for 48 hours before they're released from jail, so ICE can determine if they have the ability to deport them. So these aren't average people on the street. These are people who are in jail, who are being detained and not allowed back out on the street, like the killer of Kate Steinle.
And yet the sheriff seems to have a different view, saying, no matter what we do, someone's going to get upset.
Well, listen, and that's the position of a law enforcement officer, and that is to enforce the law regardless of who may get upset. And her obligation, the sheriff of Dallas County, the obligation of everyone in this state and nation, is to ensure that we remain a land of laws, and that means enforcing them, not applying them on a case-by-case basis, as is offered by this sheriff.
Governor, great to see you.
Thank you.
Well, as that story plays out,